Are you a frustrated beginner? Now, because I don't like the way this is looking. Are you a frustrated beginner? You know? Are you doing martial arts and you find yourself irritated? You know? Bothered. Every time you walk out the session, you just feel like quitting. This video is for you. Now, before I get to yapping, type away right now and tell me your experience. And also, by the way, if you are a experienced person and you're finding like a plateau in martial arts, this video is for you as well. Because I believe I have the solution to help you out. I don't have all the answers, but I got some solutions. I have suggestions. That's actually the proper way of saying it. So, to keep it short, I believe you need to talk to somebody about this. Now, specifically to be exact, let's say like you're a guy, you go to Jiu-Jitsu. We're going to just use Jiu-Jitsu as an example, but I think this applies to boxing, Muay Thai, any striking, any grappling martial art. But the context that we're going to use everything in is in Jiu-Jitsu. So let's say you're a Jiu-Jitsu guy, you find yourself constantly getting beat up, and it's just irritating at this point. You're like, okay, I know I'm not dumb, you know, like I know I am functionally smart, you know, in some good aspects. Why is it that I can't get this? Or maybe you're one of the girlies and you're like, I'm tired of these guys. I would much rather the guy is rude and an ass than him being happy and nice, laughing at my struggle. You know, like there's girlies that are like that. They're like, you know, just give me a reason to properly hate you. You know, so let's talk about this right quick. So, number one, we'll start off with the white belt. To keep it short, I think you need somebody to talk to. I think not having no one to talk to makes this art a lot more difficult. I have a good story for that. So, type away your experience. It's really good that you type your experience because someone who might be running across this video that's also lost and maybe they want to quit, they might run across your comment and it helps them out. So, let's say you're you're experienced, kind of like maybe a purple belt, maybe a blue belt. You've been doing jiu-jitsu for 1, 3, 4, 5 years, whatever, and you find yourself stuck in a dead zone and you're just not getting better. And, you know, the reason why, like, there's thousands of different types of advice, and I plan on making thousands of different videos in the future. I think it's going to be helpful. But one major aspect that's not talked about is the mental aspect or like, as I would like to call, I'm on my way. Now, since we're yapping, just follow me here. There's a concept that I have that I've created for myself, I'm on my way. So let's say you wake up, you're getting dressed, you're getting prepared, you're getting ready to go somewhere, and then you get in your car, and now you're traveling there to the destination. No matter what you do, you can speed, maybe you might crash, but really, honestly, no matter what you do, no matter how fast you try to go, there is a period of time, a commute time, before you get to that destination. There's nothing you can do. You can't teleport there. So that's the same thing for martial arts. Let's say you're brand new. You know you're doing everything that you possibly need to do, but you have to get through this sucky phase. Like you have to, you just have to suck. Like that's just the natural thing. And I want you to know, when I first started jiu-jitsu, there was a moment in time where honestly I felt like quitting too. I was like, there's just no way. It was just frustrating, honestly. I think really it stems from frustration, and I have a story for you guys. Like yesterday, my boy, if you're watching, I'm gonna use your story because I think this is a perfect story. There's a guy that I talked to a while and got him into jiu-jitsu. He used to just come to me, bothering me all the time about jiu-jitsu because he wanted to get into jiu-jitsu, and I convinced him, or I helped him make the decision to come to my gym. So now he's at my gym and he finds himself doing jiu-jitsu. He's trying his best. He's a very smart guy. He's a musician, but he, for some strange reason, is just not getting better. And of course, it's like, I think it's under a month, maybe starting to go in the second month. So he understands that you have to suck, right? But just yesterday, he was like, yo, this is frustrating. It's getting to a point, and he was just like, figure of speech. He said, it's getting to a point where I just want to start punching people now, like He's like, I just can't get out of this particular position. I find myself being beat up the entire session. What the hell do I do? Like, I know I don't suck. And one of the guys who's about the same, I think me and him are the same belt. It's Nogi, so I forget what belt is what people. But he walked over and he's like, that's actually good. You should be happy that you feel this way. And this is your reaction. Because most people, when they are met with this frustration, this is the time that a lot of people decide to quit jiu-jitsu. And for me, when I heard that advice, I didn't get that advice when I was a white belt. So for some weird reason, I felt like that white belt version of me, like it's like I zoomed back in time and that white belt version of me got that advice. And I was happy, like I didn't have the words for it, but that is what kept me in jiu-jitsu. Because I was like, you don't suck. Like, I don't want to quit because I know I'm good, But that was just such great advice. But the answer I was going to give him, and once that upper belt gave him that advice, this comes into a full circle. You have to talk about it. You need to find somebody. So understand you are on your way. There's nothing you could do. You could go to the gym, okay? You could start building up your strength, but even then there's a waiting period. You can start studying jiu-jitsu right now, but there's still a waiting period for your mind to bring things together. There's still always going to be a waiting period. So what do we do when we're on this commute time, when we're traveling to a destination? Well, you throw on some music, or you have somebody to talk with about something. You call someone up on the phone. Don't drive and talk on the phone unless you got earpiece, by the way. Yeah. But you got someone that you talk to. It just helps you take your mind off of the long journey of this destination. So I believe that you need to find someone who's an upper belt that likes to talk about this stuff. Like me. I love talking about this. That's why I've decided to make these videos. Find someone that you can sit down and just yap, where you can really it just causes your mind to think of new things and see things in new perspectives and new ways that will challenge and enhance and make this art fun. You need somebody to talk to about this, or find someone that is on the same level. Maybe you were fortunate enough to start at the same time with somebody and they understand your pain. Maybe they understand something better than you, and you understand something better than them, and you guys combine that information together. Rome wasn't built in a day. It takes a village to raise this child that's inside of you that's trying to get better. You get what I'm saying? So I think that's very important. And then also, just to show you, because you're always going to be in this position. If you're brand new and you're frustrated, I want you to know that frustration is never going away. You're going to get to a point where you know things and you feel like you should know more, or you feel like you should be better. You're going to just always feel, it's going to be turbulence always in your mind, a tornado of emotions of how you should be better than what you are. So for the people, for the white belts, I want you to listen to this. If you're brand new, we're going to talk about the person who's experienced and they're plateauing. They're stuck. They're I don't know what to do. Once again, I have a story for that. So I had a homegirl. This is why I believe you should talk to somebody. So I had a homegirl, called her up. We were catching up on some stuff. And then she was like, yeah, I don't, I'm not having fun right now. I feel like I'm seeing certain people who we were on the same level, and now suddenly they're getting better than me. It's really frustrating. I'm just floating around. And I asked her, I was like, okay, well, now, are you watching? Are you studying? And she was like, no, kind of, not really. I was like, well, and I want to gift this to you guys, for those who do not know, or maybe you do know, maybe you forgot. But we as humans have this special ability, okay, where we can see another human being do something and we can experience that experience that they're doing. I don't know what the terminology is. It's in neuroscience, but understand that when you watch, when you look at something, at someone doing something, that right there if you pay attention and you understand what they're doing, your brain pretends that you are that person. It puts you in that driver's seat and you learn. This is why for me specifically, I just passively watch a lot of like whatever thing that I'm doing. I always go around and try to find out like where is the casual people that's practicing this. I would like to just watch and see what they're doing. And then I'll see something that they're doing. I'll be like, oh, I didn't look at it. You have to understand that martial arts is all about perspective and what's the other word? It's another P. It's all about perspective and pattern. That's all martial arts is. If you can change your perspective, the perception, and become aware of what's going on and learn different patterns, you will just be a menace and you'll get better. But the only way you can do that is if you socialize. So this is why I usually tell people like, hey, if you want to get better, this is for the new people, and I would say even maybe people who are plateauing. You probably should go watch, but this one is for the medium. Let's go into the medium. You should be the last person on the mat. Now, I always say this, and no one never gets what I mean. So I'm going to explain it right here. What I mean by the last person on the mat is you should be the one cleaning the mats, okay? You should be chilling, and you're like, well, I guess it's time to lock up, you know? Like, and you're with whoever has the keys to the gym, and you just got done helping them clean up and you're locking up. Like, you should be the last person if you want to get better. Now, the reason why I say that is because it links to the socialization part that I'm talking about. If you ever try this, let's say you don't have work or whatever you do and you're just relaxing, right? You will notice that a lot of the upper belts, or maybe people that are better than you at the moment, they will start talking. And they give out like unconscious nuggets of gems. I have learned some of the best things like in my game, just simply just sitting back on the wall, watching and looking at people talk about something. And then they will say something. There's like something that your mind needs for it to just click. And you're like, oh, I get that. They'll sit back and they'll be like drilling together. It's just a lot of things at the end of class, people converse with each other and they start like basically comparing notes. So, I mean, they don't literally whip out notes, but that's one big thing. I feel like if you're brand new and you're trying to get better, like, are you the last person on the mat? You know, I understand your frustration, but are you the last person on the mat? You know, are you studying this game? Where are you weak at? Like, I would say, like, for example, there's some people like, you know, I'm a smaller person. And there's some guys who are really, right now, they're small and they're getting smashed from the bigger dudes. Okay, well, are you in the gym? And of course, I'm not saying that you need to be benching 300 pounds, right? But what I am telling you is that you should be strong enough to not push them off you, but misdirect them. You should be strong enough. Are you strong enough to misdirect them, or are you just collapsing when they, like, there's so many things that you can do to cure your frustration. But like I said, even when you do everything I'm telling you to do, also, you know, there's one last thing. I have to say this too. I think I said in the beginning of this video, but I think it's really key. And it's gonna sound like some pseudo wushu martial arts BS, but mental health. Hold on. The power of belief. I'm so serious right now. The power of belief, your mental health. You can have the best sleep, nutrition. I should have talked about that too. Your sleep and nutrition matters. But right now we're talking about the mind. You know, we're talking about that. The power of belief. Sometimes you actually just might not be confident. You might actually be able to do everything you're trying, but you are moving very hesitant. And that's why you're not getting exactly what you want. You know, the funny thing about martial arts that I've recognized is it's not that you couldn't do it before. It's just that you didn't think you could do it before. That's really it. There's certain things that I'll, like, as I get older in jiu-jitsu or whatever, and I'm learning new things, or maybe I'm having to slow down, there's still certain like weird athletic things that I notice I can do, like, that I never was able to do before. And I'm sitting there staring, I'm like, wait, so you had this ability the entire time? You just didn't think you could do that? So the power of belief is, You know, you just need a little confidence, and that's why you should be showing up every day. So I hope this helps. I really don't have nothing to say. Talk about it more. Type away. Let me know how you feel. You guys take care.